Alrighty, it is currently 10:29 a.m. And as you can see, what I pulled up on YouTube is the exact same time yesterday. That would be 24 hours ago, where I'm at 628 West Holt Boulevard, which is distinct from 215 East C Street, where Sean Thrasher is gang stalking by blocking my path. You are stalking under the fake sun, and this is a malicious vagina monitor who is also holding a position at the venue where he's committed the federal offense of criminal monitoring while he's gang stalking with the Ontario police, who you heard just gang stalking me moments ago upon my entrance into this venue. I just want to show you the fake sun that's over this entrance. Sean Thrasher is going to federal prison. All right, but this is the entity that's engaging in that P.O.C, and this is relevant to the video documentation of that agency stalking me at the Ontario Town Square under the fake sun, as I am at the Ontario Town Square, 224 North Euclid Avenue, and 24 hours ago, the entity kept for 6 hours that I documented the fake sun over the Ontario Village Shopping Center. Okay, so that's why I'm starting this video here. It's professional.
This is P.O.C. regarding Title 18 federal stalking. Is stalking in the reason, the way that you know that this is a plane that is engaged in stalking one person in particular is the placement of the fake sun where it's been way 6. And you're looking at going back and forth. These are pacing by a demon-possessed entity that are stalking together. And what they are also doing while you're looking at this, 9EIW 892 is sharing in a sex to my thighs and hitting my face within in this parking lot and in the sky space, and this is what the airport is doing, one plane after another, while the fake sun sits right here over me. They're mentally ill, and the demon-possessed are not able to keep that mental illness closeted, nor can they keep their criminal activity closeted. That's impossible light that's on the ground while they are stalking with the Ontario.
Let's just rewind and
it is currently 10:32 a.m. This is also relevant to what is the proof of mental illness by Mike LORENZ and Bonita in this parking lot and in the sky space. And this is what the airport is doing, one plane after another, while the fake sun sits right here over me. They're mentally ill.
That's the Ontario police that engaged in what is psychopathic pacing. This is the crime scene. The fake sun is the ability to see not only the criminal stalking, but the mental illness by a demon-possessed entity. In that environment, in other words, with that behavior is showing you what is the proof of the satanic targeting system. Now, what you're looking at here is where the people of the state are stalking. License 6, David Larry, Sam 658. They are stalking. The entity has the fake sun over me, and I am at what is 215 East C Street, and you're mindful of everyone, including Sean Thrasher, that are stalking, while the entity is keeping this fake sun over me at the Stater Brothers parking lot, the Ontario Village Shopping Center, where you're mindful of the entity that's engaging in stalking, doing so with the developmentally challenged, OPARC, antithesis, doing so with minor children, doing so while they are maliciously engaged in that pattern of conduct. You can look whatever direction you want. This is the hard evidence. These are the same demons that are engaging in that while they're stalking with impossible light. Just like you see, boy, the entity is maintaining this fake sun at the same time, not ignorant while the police are flying circles around me while I document their license plates, while I walk through their neighborhoods and they're monitoring where they live. That's called a facilitating venue, not a private space. And in this venue, where the entity is stalking, doing so in the specific environment. The specific environment is that which defies science, it defies nature, it defies common sense and logic. You're looking at what is psychopathic pacing. One person stalking after another person. Imagine laser light being on the ground after, well, you don't have to imagine it because it's engineered light, you've seen it. But the purpose of what they're doing is creating like a path around me in the environment. They're all stalking, and it's one after another. They are an ongoing army of demons who are engaged in what is stalking as a group, gang stalking, state organized stalking, stalking on behalf of the government. And they're doing so while the sun's over the Ontario Village Shopping Center, 44214 Larry 3, and alloys sheet metal. The identification of 2 third parties. The entity has this fake sun over me at the same time where I'm showing you at the 628 West Holt, where the Ontario Village Shopping Center is located. This is where the Ontario police are having a field day, and they did it in plain view like I've been documenting for years, stalking me and conspicuously in concert with the people of the state. This is psychopathic pacing, not in vehicles, but on foot, in and out of the building, where this entity, as you know, just like I documented at the Ontario Village Shopping Center, keeps this fake sun until after 4 p.m. In fact, let's look at that while we are comparing what the entity is engaging in with regard to a pattern of conduct, So first, I want to be clear, this is exactly what is going to be the federal offense regarding the people of the state who are going to federal prison engaging in psychopathic pacing. This is the same psychopathic pacing that they are engaging in right now. In and out of the entrance doors, they're stalking under the fake sun just like they are in vehicles in this parking lot, that fake sun that remained over the Ontario Village Shopping Center, which is showing how everyone is engaging in that pattern of conduct, and this is poor acting by an entity, a society, okay? And this is how they commit murder as well, at this ritualistic psychopathic pacing conduct around the target whom they are sexually violating as well, monitoring my vagina, joint knowledge while they're breaking in the bathroom like this morning at Stater Brothers, while they're engaging in what is molesting with engineer light, while they're engaging in that ritualistic conduct of stalking and terrorizing and psychologically torturing, like in the video, which is what you're looking at here, where the entity's psychopathic pacing is captured on video with the Ontario Police.
And that's what the demon-possessed females are in California. Psychopathic pacing with the Ontario Police. K479T1. Psychopathic pacing with the Ontario Police. It's the same thing with Southwest Airlines. It's with the Ontario Police. 8NCX241. This is the entity that's engaging in that. I could not have more of it.
This is the entity that's engaging in what is domestic terrorism, and they do it in concert with the people of the state who are pacing in and out of the entrance doors in violation of federal law, federal stalking statute, Title 18, Section 22618, subsections 1 and 2. They're doing so as a mentally ill, demon-possessed entity that's maintaining a criminal pattern of conduct, and this is proven through what is the documentation showing what is absolutely demented. The criminal pattern of conduct is so satanic, it's so mentally deranged that I have to document in order to prove that the entity is indeed stalking under what I have appropriately termed, which is a scientific term, a fake sun. The entity is maintaining this while the entity is exhibiting mental illness, pacing around me in the vehicles, pacing around me on foot, pacing around me by helicopter, doing so at the same time, which is exactly what I'm documenting at 2 venues at the same time. Yesterday, the entity kept the fake sun until after 12 p.m. What I want you to
federal
see...
court. This is the pattern of... And the Ontario Police are the ones that are touching my breast with impossible light by the gang members who are targeting me in furtherance of murder. These facilitating venues are being prosecuted. This is the federal RICO case, and this is also the basis of damages.
That's relevant to what Sean Thrasher is committing while he is blocking my path. That is stalking, while the entity is keeping a fake sun over me as I enter the venue, which he knows he's gratified by the Ontario Police gang stalking me while I'm prosecuting the mayor through this evidence as well. And he is standing with Kelly Blacken and the demons that are gang stalking Natasha, monitoring my vagina while the males go into the adjacent restroom, maintaining what is ongoing amplified audible activity. And how can they do that? Because it's not the natural environment. It's because they are demons. And that proof of that is here. And you will be subject to a federal prosecution. Never mind the fact that they're demons engaging in what is the practice of witchcraft, demonic activity. They're demon possessed. This is what they call witchcraft, but I'm showing you it's not witchcraft. They're just demons. Demons engaging in what is supernatural conduct. They are serving Satan, and Satan is being prosecuted. EY221 psychopathic pacing, just like what's on video at the Stater Brothers shopping plaza, okay, which is not here. That's a federal prosecution right there. Understand the significance of every one that I've documented, which is greater evidence regarding the entire state of California. Moreover, like I stated, let's look at what's here at 4 p.m. So I'm going to show you the evidence of surveillance. Minor children, that's a federal prosecution. And this is where damning evidence is going to be revealed. This is the admission to surveillance with the people. And we're going to look at what's happening at 4 o'clock in the evening. P.O.C. This is the prosecution of the Ontario Village Shopping Center, 74844 David 4. This is exactly what they're doing at the Village while I'm capturing damning evidence. And what did the entity do? On video, starts flying in circles over the top of my head. This is the evidence, the criminal activity which is establishing federal prosecution, federal prison for surveillance of the evidence that's underway on my device with no warrant, no probable cause. The fake sun is over the shopping plaza. The entity is engaging in this yesterday with the same knowledge of my documentation of the King's Inc., of the email Go Brile dentist office, of the Stater Brothers, of the Habit Grill, while the people of the state and every license plate are sharing in that, and that police department engages in what is stalking in the path, psychopathic pacing, just like here. And what you're looking at is what you see here as I'm capturing video at 10:29. This is the same thing you're going to see here, where Amazon Prime is sharing in the criminal pattern of conduct. Amazon Prime, which is again the terrorist leader Bezos. When you are appropriating domestic terrorism in the United States and you are analogizing it with what is terrorism that's happening amongst foreign terrorists targeting American citizens. The U.S. government is targeting American citizens, and these fools are providing evidence for the foundational creation of legislation in order to prosecute murderers and kidnappers like the Ontario Police Department. I just want to be clear, before we look at this video at 4 p.m., Paul Leon is being federally prosecuted for conspiring my murder, for funding terrorism, which is occurring with impunity. He is not ignorant. He's in the specific environment. You're also not reasonably ignorant, and this demon is not actually ignorant either. This is the P.O.C. This is the entity that's engaging in that ongoing criminal acts of obstruction, and so is UPS. That's what this is. It's light activity under the fake sun. It's not a delivery. It's criminal facilitation, and that's federal prison, while the entity's psychopathic pacing is underway while a demon tries to cloak themselves as delivering a package to the environment where the fake sun remains until 4 p.m. Look at this.
9 RPK 278, stalking with Amazon Prime Air. And remember the obvious impropriety, the illegality regarding hovering over a senior citizen complex. This is zoning provisions that the entities.
This is where UPS, you can replace it with Amazon Prime, engaging in the pattern of conduct by delivering a package. This is the entity that's engaging in what is gang stalking using their vehicles.